Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Back again to make another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying. As always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahach, Chodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the house of David, to the 144,000, and to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you, I say shalom. As we can see in this current state of affairs, Esau is in full push. He's in the process of attempting to bring everything under his control. And it doesn't matter how he manages to obtain that, who he has to kill, whatever he has to do by any means necessary to achieve his goals. But what he doesn't understand is that his goals are in alignment with Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai's goals, in that he bring about his own demise, you know. And just want to grab a quick verse before I get into some of these videos. In Slovakia, let me try it. Okay. Just needed to do a little bit more looking. Come. This is Second Ezra 6 and 9. And then I'll jump up to 7. And it reads, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end be of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And it says, verse 10, to get the understanding, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. So what that represented is that an age, a time frame that Esau would rule and Jacob would be the end of his rulership as he pulls him down. He's on his heels as that leader, that rulership, that temporary blessing that he received from his father Isaac is now coming to a close. And in that, he's doing everything he can to maintain that blessing, but all the while is actually furthering, the end of that blessing. It's coming about at his own hands, you know. So I just want to get a couple of things because, hey, this man is famous. He's famous for being in negotiation while attacking. You know what I mean? Every time, when this man is attacked, when he is negotiating with you, you should always be preparing for war, because his negotiations are nothing more than a ploy to take you off of your security, to make you calm down, to get you off of your watch, to bring you down off of the tower. That's all he does. That's all he knows. So we played the disclaimer in the beginning. I got a couple of shorts that I want to run. We're going to bring out a couple of scriptures, and Lord willing, to be edifying. But again, as I stated, what is this man doing? You know what I mean? He literally is, well, I'll let this man tell you.
We have a very good record of that. Contrary to Americans, that their record is very bad and very negative. This is the second time that we negotiated with Americans and they decided to attack us right in the middle of negotiation. What we are doing is, in fact, an act of self-defense and retaliation to the American aggression against us. We are not attacking our brothers in the, in the Persian Gulf. We are not attacking our neighbors, but we are attacking American targets. And this is obvious. The Americans, the United States military is targeting us, is attacking us, and we have no way but to defend ourselves.
So again,
Iran has been always open to diplomacy, and I think we have a very good record of that. Contrary to Americans, that their record is very bad and very negative. This is the second time that we negotiated with Americans and they decided to attack us right in the middle of negotiation.
You see, and this is not just subject to the current state of affairs. If you go back to, his introduction into the Americas, what did he, we know that he had over 400 plus treaties with the indigenous people of this land and broke every one of them. This is Psalms 55. And, man, yeah. We'll start at 18, and it reads, "He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. The Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes. Therefore they fear not the Most High. He put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him." What did they do? They come up and they use their propaganda machines to say these people are trying to get a bomb. They want a bomb. They want a bomb. They want bomb. Bomb, bomb, a bomb, a bomb, 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 bomb. Knowing full well that, hey, number one, if he wants a bomb, you got a bomb. Your tiny tops that rule this land have a bomb. Other nations have bombs. Who are you to tell another sovereign nation what they can and cannot have? And even though they've not made one, what you did was you terminated the one person in their land that thought that it was inhumane for them to get one. So now what comes to play? Whoever comes into charge now, they're watching, hey, everybody in the world is seeing the North Korea effect. A little itty bitty town, little bitty itty nation, yet with big boy toys. And you ain't fixing to do nothing because, hey, the world recognizes you as a coward. You're quick to go after the little man. You're quick to go after somebody with no ability to affect what it is that you're doing. But now the world is seeing you went after somebody who's big enough to punch you back, and soon that arm is going to reach to your land, to the land of unwalled villages. Again, it says, he hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. What did I say in the beginning? How many treaties, covenants did he make with the indigenous people of the land? And he has broken every one of them. What is he ready to do? He's in a covenant with the UN, with the United Nations. But what's he threatening? To take over Greenland. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So, in the midst of his so-called negotiations, what's he doing? He's drawing swords. You know, it says, jumping over, we're going to grab Habakkuk 2 and 4, and we'll start at 2. We'll start at 1. Habakkuk 2, verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. So what does he do? He propaganda. You know what I mean? He's telling people, hey, we're going to negotiate, but all the while he's setting up his military to come in and attack. You know, he doesn't need what you have. He just wants it. So if because he sees it and you have it and he wants it, you either going to give it to him or you're going to have to die. It says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. What did he do with their supreme leader? They're not just their religious leader. This man is looked at as their version of the Pope, and if they just murdered him with a missile, and think that there's going to be no retaliation, no ramifications, no retribution for their actions. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Hey, and he's just coming out of South America with what he did in the South America. I guess there's no more drug boats coming out of there. You know, he just went down there. He stole these people's oil. He kidnapped their head of state, and all for what? All for what? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Soon, and we're seeing the opening throngs, shall they not all rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them. And hey, I'm gonna get that real quick.
Strong's H 4933. Meshisa. Meshisa.
A spoil, a plunder, you know, and this is what's coming for Babylon the Great. This is the root.
Strong's H 8155. Shasas. Shasas. And second entry, Shoace. Shoace.
Says to plunder, spoil, to plunder, to be plundered, be rifled. So that's what's coming, man. These other nations are getting ready to bring about a state of retribution. But let's watch another one or two of these, though. Again.
تکلیف رو بگذارید روشن بکنم.
Do you believe the Russians are being
من تکلیف رو بگذارید روشن بکنم. ما در شرایط حاضر و در شرایطی که تهاجمات رژیم صهیونیستی ادامه داره خواهان مذاکره با هیچ کسی نیستیم و آمریکا یعنی در خصوص این موضوع با هیچ کسی ما خواهان مذاکره نیستیم. آمریکایی‌ها خواهان مذاکره هستن، چند بار هم پیام دادن، پیام‌های خیلی جدی هم دادن.
And even while they're attacking you, they're trying to get you to sit down and have some type of negotiation with them. Because they realizing now they're not doing as much winning as they've been declaring, you know. Now they're realizing that what they just bit off is a little bit more than they can chew. You know, it says, hey, as the Zionist regime's attacks continue, we are not seeking negotiations with anyone, especially not with the United States on this matter. It is the Americans who are seeking negotiations. They have sent messages multiple times, including very serious ones. We have explicitly told them that as long as the aggression and attacks continue, there is simply no room to talk of dialogue or diplomacy. Diplomacy is something you do before you attack somebody. But this devil has no concept on that. This is Proverbs 1 in verse 16. It says, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. You know, I think the number of it was 400 killed in down there in Maduro when they attacked to take him. You know, those things that get left out of the news because, you know, hey, the legacy media in America is basically complicit. You know, they're like a seventh branch of the military. They're used to bring forth propaganda. America pride tells itself that it's well informed, but in actuality, Americans are the most uninformed, ill-informed, misinformed, completely just lost in the sauce group of people that there is. The majority have no concept, and they're kept in a state of continual ignorance in order for this man to continue to pillage the world. You know? Again, Isaiah 59, and I'm going to jump and grab, I'll start at 6. It says their webs, I'll start at 5. It says, we'll jump to 4. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave the spider's web. He that eateth of their eggs dieth, and that which is crushed breaketh out into a viper. Their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the acts of violence is in their hands. You know, hey, and what is this? Hey, when they think that, you know what I mean, they're gonna, when they sit down to fill their bellies, hey, that's when the Most High is gonna, man, you know, they're gonna vomit it all up. It says, their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. So, hey, man, these devils are set on a path. They, man, hey, matter of fact, Salakia, let's see if I can find it. This is Psalms 73, and I'll start at 15, and it reads, if I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down unto destruction. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are utterly consumed with terrors. So, hey, what does the scriptures tell us, man? Like lightning, he saw Satan, Satan fall. This devil is going to fall like lightning. You know what I mean? He's going to be brought to the king of terrors. Let's get this last one. We'll wrap it up.
Your criticisms of Putin are simply an emotional.
Yeah, of course. That's the way these things happen. So apparently I seem to have froze up a little bit. I don't know. It's not wanting to do anything. Yeah. Once again, man, the Lord of the Flies is always at work in Babylon. So it seems that the Lord of the Air is attempting to bring an end, and we seem to have frozen. So, hey, the devil is always at work. So, Bubba Kashaw, you know, I hope that you received some edification from this. You know what I mean? This man is always seeking for blood. He's always, you know, his desire is for blood. And, man, hey, your only way out of this is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. This is it seems to pop back up. So within these last few moments, this is Proverbs 29:10, and it reads, "The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul." You know, And man, we know Esau Edom is the bloodthirsty. All he knows is violence. He weighs his violence in the earth. Yeah. Psalms 58:2. When we start at 1, it reads, to the chief musician, Al Tashith Michtan of David, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So this devil is not going to hear rebuke. He's not going to hear chastisement. He's not going to hear reasoning. He's not going to hear mercy. He's not going to hear anything but the sound of his own destruction when the Most High rains it upon him. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson. I pray that you were edified. I pray that you are preparing yourselves for what is to come, and that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, watch over his elect. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rahah Chodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, bishops, the leadership of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the house of David, to the 144,000, and to the men, women, and children that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect.